of County Commissioners for August 15, 2017. I'm Commissioner Bud Blake, the chair of the board this year. I'd like to start off by doing introductions. To my left is Commissioner Gary Edwards. To my right is Commissioner John Hutchings. To his right is Clerk of the Board Lavadina Bomar. To her right is the Martin Casey, who is sitting in for the county manager, and he is the Central Services Director. With that in mind, I'll ask Commissioner Gary Edwards to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the pledge. And I might point out, if you lose your way, it's right up here on the wall. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So with that in mind, I'll ask if there's a motion to approve the agenda for today.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agenda for August 15, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Tuesday, August 15, 2017 agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. On the board meeting minutes for August 8, 2017.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the board meeting minutes from August 8, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the board meeting minutes for August 8, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries as well. So we're at the point where we ask if there's anybody in the public that would like to come to the podium now and address the board. And I don't know if there's
No
a
one.
sign issue or
No, it
not.
looks like it.
So just double checking real quick here. No one signed up?
No.
No. Okay, great. With that, we'll move on to the next item, which is the county manager's update. I'm going to ask Martin to give us an update.
I have no updates on behalf of Ramiro at this time.
Okay, great. And so that brings us to the point where we had the consent items, and that's item number 3. So is there a motion to approve the consent items?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve consent items A through D.
Second.
It's been moved and second to approve the consent items A through D. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. Okay, so the next item is the departmental items, which is item number 4, Central Services. It's the final acceptance of project 25530. And I'll ask Michael Crow to come to the podium and give us a little bit of background on it.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good
This
afternoon.
item is to request the final acceptance.
Hey, can you pull your mic up just a
Sure.
little
Oh,
bit?
you bet. There, is that better? Yes. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This item is the final acceptance for the Facilities Engineer Project 25530 Superior Court Lobby Security Remodel. The project provided renovation and remodel of the lobby areas, the library, and the Superior Court to improve security, pedestrian flow, and workspace efficiency. It was completed by Christensen Incorporated of Olympia. The final completion was reached on January 13th, 2017. The state has now cleared the project to release retainage. The original budget for the project was $47,028.26, including additive alternates and contingency. The final cost was $40,449.32, a 13% decrease from the original budget.
Any comments or questions for Mike? Mr. Clay?
No, but I like the fact that it came in under budget. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the final acceptance of the project?
Yes, there is. I move to accept facilities engineering project number 25530, Superior Court Lobby Security Remodel as complete, and authorize the Director of Central Services to release retainage of funds once all legal requirements have been met.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded as stated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You bet. Before I go any further, I'd just like to make an administrative announcement to let everybody know, and I'll say it a couple times before we go off the air, that we will not have a BoCC or Board of County Commissioners meeting on the 22nd of August. So I'll state that a few more times to let people know. So the next item I have is the number 5, which is Public Health and Social Services. And we're going to ask Mr. Gary Aiden to come to the podium and just talk about the Community Investment Partnership Funding Awards. Hello, Gary, how you doing?
Good, sir. Thank you. Gary Aiden, Public Health Social Services. This request today is to award $93,000 in additional state money that came to the county from the Consolidated Homeless Grant Program and $7,000 of emergency funds from the SIP to two agencies who have expressed extreme need in the community. One is the Community Kitchen Program operated by Catholic Community Services, and the second is PONZA, a permanent housing project over in the West Olympia area. Houses 30 single homeless individuals. The SIP has met and discussed both of these projects, and last Monday awarded a total of $100,000, again $93,000 from additional state money, $7,000 from the SIP emergency fund, leaving $93,000 in emergency money left on the table for the SIP to deal with. So our request today is that you would award these two contracts and allow the director to sign both of those contracts.
Any questions, comments, follow-up, anything?
No.
Okay. I would just like to add, since I sit on the SIP, Community Investment Partnership, that the additional funding came in at the last minute, which was a surprise and very helpful, and we were very happy with that. So we were able to go back and revisit the two people that had come in, two organizations that came in with the request that didn't get funded on the first cycle. But we still, as a county, we maintain that $93,000 now for emergency funding. At the same time, we are working as an organization at the Community Investment Partnership on updating a policy so that can be put out to the public, but also to the folks that are requesting funding, so they know exactly how the process will look here on in, from here on. So it's very transparent, very open, very clear, very difficult. We had more people requesting funding and requesting additional monies than before, and the money had been cut severely, and so we were all fraught with peril because it was difficult to turn some people down. But we were very happy that Shelley Slaughter was able to find more money that came in, and we were able to at least fund the community kitchen and Ponza, or Camp Quixote. Thank you, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great.
Thank you,
Any
Shelley.
comments?
No, thank you very much.
You bet. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the housing contracts between the county and Catholic Community Services and the county and Ponza for a combined total maximum amount of $100,000, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the contracts and any amendments that do not change the approved dollar amount or duration by more than 15%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded as stated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gary.
So next, we have approval of the interlocal agreements with the cities of Tumwater and Lacey for specialized recreation services. And Margaret Huff, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
She's going to tell us a little bit
Commissioners.
about it.
Yes, I am here today to request approval for signature from our director for the interlocal agreements between the city of Tumwater and the city of Lacey. The Lacey interlocal is for an annual amount of $8,377. The city of Tumwater is an annual amount of $2,125. These funds go into our overall budget for specialized recreation, which is a 200 client proud program of a regional capacity serving adults with developmental disabilities. The cities have contributed to this program for the last 20 years, so we look forward to these funds.
Any comments or questions for Margaret?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you for doing what you do with the
Thank you.
community you work with every day.
Thank you.
It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Ditto. And I think I said it before that working with the developmentally disabled folks is a wonderful thing to do, and to have specialized recreation services for them is good, very, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve Cities of Lacey and Tumwater and local agreements to provide specialized recreation services to individuals with developmental disabilities for the duration of January 1, 2017 through December 31, 2017. City of Lacey annual amount of $8,377, and City of Tumwater annual amount of $2,125. And move to authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the agreements.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded as stated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and your motion carries.
Thank you very
You
much.
bet. Thank you, Margaret. So next, item number 6 is the Commissioners and County Managers item, and we have the Tourism Promotion Areas Destination Marketing Organization Budget. And I think Martin's going to take this one.
Actually, Commissioners, I'm going to invite Senior Management Analyst
There you
Denise
go.
Doty to come up and present
Denise
this
did
item
it, yep.
on behalf of Romero.
All the better. Hi, Denise.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Commissioners.
Can you do me a favor? Pull your mic down just a tad. There you go. All righty.
Of course.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. The Thurston County Tourism Promotion Area submitted the budget for the Visitor Convention Bureau. The budget has been reviewed and adopted by the Thurston County Hotel Motel Commission. The budget represents good news. Tourism is up, revenues are up, and I'm here seeking your approval of the budget.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions about tourism?
And that is a recommendation from the Visitor and Convention Bureau folks?
Yes?
Okay, thank you.
And why do all the people that are involved in this, why do they suppose the revenue is up?
I think because tourism is up. It's hotel stays are up, right?
That. Yeah, but what is drawing people, do you know? I mean, can they speculate?
Well, probably, we're blessed with a lot of natural beauty, but also it was a long legislative session that probably impacts
Oh, there you go.
hotel stays.
Okay.
would be
And the
one.
people eat and they visit and they spend money. That's
Right.
beautiful, okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Sure, you bet. Is there a motion then?
I move to approve the budget for the Tourism Promotion Areas Destination Marketing Organization, the Olympia Lacey Tumwater Visitor and Convention Bureau, as recommended by the Thurston County Hotel and Motel Commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded as stated. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, and your motion carries. Thank you, Denise.
you.
You bet. So we're now at 6B, where the county commissioners can report back to the audience and the public as a whole on any of the boards that they sit on, or any of the committees, or just something they might have seen out in the general public. And I'll just ask Commissioner Edwards if he wants to lead off first.
No, I'm going to pass on that, thank you.
All righty. How about Commissioner Hutchins?
It was pretty light, being summertime. I attended the Lot Alliance board meeting last week, and had on Friday, two community outreach sessions of Guac Talk, one in Tenino for an hour and one in downtown Olympia for an hour. And this was the second time I've done this, and the attendance was down from the first time, first go-around. And I would liken that to either one of two things, it being a nice, warm, sunny summer day, or people are just in awe and they understand all of the issues and they're happy with the way things are going. I don't know which one I'll put my money on. But that was fun. It's always fun to get out and meet the public and engage. And then I attended the groundbreaking for an 80-unit affordable housing complex at the old Bailey's Motor Inn on Martin Way, about the 3800 block or so. And it's going to be a beautiful facility. And then yesterday, attended the CIP Community Investment Partnership meeting with Gary Aden and Shelley Slaughter, and discussed a whole host of topics in about 2 hours. That is never sufficient time to get work done, and that's a work in progress. Thank you, Chair.
You bet. Did you have a
Good. No, no.
Still good? Okay. So a couple things while I was out on the town last week. So one of the more exciting committees that I sit on is called the Housing Action Team. It's a subset of the Thurston Thrives initiative that we have here in Thurston County. And so we met on our monthly meeting, and some of the things that we talk about, we have what we call a green team, a red team, and a blue team, and each have their individual roles. Like for the blue team, they handle some of the capital facilities and capital projects. The red team handles the homeless and housing advocacy kind of stuff. And the green team handles weatherizations and landlord-tenant disputes, if you will, or some sort of resolution piece between the landlord and the tenant. Some of the things we did talk about was the cold weather task force, which is coming around the corner. We're starting to ramp that up and get that discussion going, so there's more to come on that. We're always interested in the pipeline, which is under the blue team, and it helps to put some of the dollars into a matrix to look at some of the leverage dollars to for what we call brick and mortar and or converting rentals into housing. We took a sneak peek at that and see where we're at. It's based on some of the CIP, Community Investment Partnership funds that Commissioner Hutchings sits on. And then some of the green team, they're always looking for more individual weatherizations, such as fans in the bathrooms to weatherizations of the windows that helps to keep down the help with the health concerns within an apartment so that they can keep their job, and it all kind of leads and ties into one. And the red team, they're producing their 5-year plan, and they've handed that off to the county, and we're in the middle of that, reviewing that to get input from other jurisdictions. So it's exciting to be on the Housing Action Team. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I absolutely love it and want to continue doing that. The other thing that I sit on as the chair is the canvassing board, and there's some unique data points that come out of that. And I just got out of the meeting there as far as this election cycle in the primary for this year. And believe it or not, about 150,000 actual registered voters, only 22.8% of those voted. So that's come out a large turnout, but at least it's about a quarter of that population that's registered for this primary vote. More importantly, is about exactly 180 people did not have their votes counted. And this is typical where they have what they call a failed signature, and that's usually the bulk of them. I'd say about 100 to 90 of them. People do not sign, or they sign based on there's a pattern that they are supposed to kind of continue. It doesn't have to be exact every time, but the machine reads it, and so when your signature area is off, the machine kicks it back, and we cannot contact you, or we contact you, but you don't come in and kind of re-sign the ballot. But about 180 were not counted, but it just kind of, and then when you have a larger, like I've said on some of them before earlier last year, it gets into the 300 or 400 or 500 where people have not, their votes don't count. And we want everybody's vote to count. I mean, no matter where you sit on what side of the fence of your issue, we want your vote to count, not only from a county commission, but from the canvassing board and the auditor herself. So just kind of a couple of things to throw out there to take into consideration as far as making Thurston County a great place and to thrive and to be a part of it. So with that in mind, I'll ask the Martin. Oh, you got another?
May I back up?
Yeah, sure.
Because I was remiss in my presentation when I did Guac Talk, the 2 sessions of Guac Talk. We have some amazing staff that work for the county, and I'm exceptionally impressed with them. And Allison Osterberg, one of our long-range planners, attended both sessions with me. She brought these 2 big maps of Thurston County and explained the areas, the urban growth area, the habitat area where gophers are, and explained the GMA and our comprehensive plan. And she did an amazing job, and I just wanted to pat her on the back and say thank you very, very much, Allison. Did a beautiful job, and it was very well done. Then I met for 2 hours last night in someone's home, talking about the HCP and the interim process because they're impacted with gophers. No, but met with constituents. It's fun to do that. Anyway, so thank you, Allison Osterberg.
Yeah, she's awesome, yeah.
Yes.
All right, Martin.
Thank you, Commissioners. Your schedule coming up this week after today's board meeting, there is a public hearing at 3 p.m. on the Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan Amendment Update. And then later this evening, from 4 to 7 p.m., some of the commissioners, I understand, are attending the Safe Place Meet and Greet, which will be taking place at Legion Way downtown in Olympia. On Wednesday, you have a handful of work sessions and meetings. Starting at 10 a.m., the Southeast Thurston Fire Authority Impact Fee Agreement and Fee Briefing will take place here in room 280. At noon, you have a lunch meeting scheduled with other county elected officials. From 2 to 2:30, there's a presentation on the draft 2018-2023 Transportation Improvement Program. And then from 2:30 to 3, the Public Works Department will be presenting their draft 2018 to 2023 Capital Facilities Plan briefing. On Thursday, starting at 10 a.m., there is a ribbon cutting at the Swantown Marine Refueling Station,
Yep.
downtown Olympia. At 1:15 to 1:30, the county will be conducting a fire evacuation drill. County services will be temporarily interrupted while we practice this important emergency safety function. And then at 1:30, the board will be having, the governing board for the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization will be meeting, and that's also here in room 280. And then just a final reminder, as Commissioner Blake mentioned, on August 22nd, the board has canceled the upcoming board meeting for next week. And that's your schedule.
Anything else? No?
Good.
Those
I
are,
was remiss and forgot to give a special thanks to the Thurston County Chamber for hosting children in a community, healthy community this past Wednesday. Great turnout and great moderation from Liz Davis, who's a moderator there for a panel. And the question and Q&A was just absolutely phenomenal. And it's really good to have the chamber get behind kids and keeping them healthy. So just wanted to put a plug out there for that. So anything else?
no, sir.
Nope. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn the Board of County Commissioners meeting of August 15, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned. Good afternoon. This is the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners, Commissioner Bud Blake. And today we have a public hearing for August 15, 2017. The public hearing today is to receive testimony regarding the amendments to the approval of 2014 HUD Annual Action Plan. And so the purposes of the public hearing is to give the opportunity to the public to provide any comments on the amendment to the 2014 HUD, that's Housing Urban Development, HUD Annual Action Plan, which was originally approved by the Board of County Commissioners meeting in July of 2014. So for those who are interested, we have a sign-up sheet in the back for those who wish to sign in and testify. You'll be given 3 minutes based on the timer that I have here on the wall. We no longer do the stop clock kind of thing with yellow, green, and blue. So you have the clock there, and when it'll start off at 3 minutes and count down to 0, and you'll get a little buzzer sound. If you're in the middle of the thought process, I'll let you finish so that you can finish your thoughts there. But at some point in time, I'll ask you to finish, and we'll continue on. With that in mind, I'll actually open the public hearing, and I'll ask Mr. Gary Aiden to come to the podium as the staff representation to give us some background on it, and then we'll proceed forward.
Thank you very much. Gary Aiden, Public Health and Social Services. This item today is a public hearing required by HUD. Anytime we change the use or the agency that receives the money, we have to have a public hearing according to the HUD rules and our Consolidated Citizens Plan process. Today we've identified $104,305 in funding from 2014 that was not obligated to a project, and we have now, through this year's funding process, allocated that money to Homes First to acquire a property for low-income housing. In order to move that to this 2017 funding year, we have to have this public hearing, and we're happy to talk about any questions you might have to address this request.
Any comments or questions from
Not yet, thanks.
Yeah, so this was funding your 2014 money.
Yes, sir.
And why are we at it 3 years later?
Because HUD changed the way that all governments that receive HUD money do their accounting. They changed that in 2013. They used to call the rule first in, first out, and they changed their system to what they call grant-based accounting. First in, first out would mean that you would set up a project in 2013 or 2014, and these are capital projects that may take a long time to get started. So other projects may finish first ahead of them, and so as you paid off those other bills that weren't specifically this one project, you would just draw money out of the treasury and make that happen. And as such, some of your grant years, you ended up with all of your money gone, even though your projects weren't completed, because those other projects got in ahead of the pool. But you never overspent your money. You just didn't spend it in the correct line with that project that had been finished. The second thing that happened, HUD changed the rules to grant-based accounting, which means that all of our projects from 2014, 15, 16 all line up now, and we draw only on 2014, whether we're drawing in 2017 or 2018. We just draw directly from that 1 year. So this kind of problem that was created by HUD, essentially in their accounting system, won't happen again. But we've identified all of these funds, 104,000. I'm very happy to find them and bring them forward so we don't lose them this year and can get some more affordable housing in the ground.
Well, I'm sure glad you are around and have all this historic information. Thank you, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Institutional memory, I'm going to say, yes.
And is the action plan, Gary, is the action plan updated? And I know it's annual, but how many times do you have to kind of go through it to get it approved?
We bring that to you once a year. This year's plan was approved in July, and that included this Homes First project that was submitted to HUD. We anticipated this money being available, had put that into the actual planning process for the what was called the pipeline set of projects.
Yep.
And the pipeline identified the two capital projects, and then the CHODO amount. CHODO is Community Housing Development Organization. That's a special designation for HUD for a nonprofit. And Homes First is our CHODO agency. So this money is CHODO money from 2014. It must go to another CHODO agency. It doesn't matter what year it is. It just is stuck with that label, if you will.
Right.
So this year's CHODO project is operated by Homes First, and that's the one that these funds will go to and help capitalize the acquisition of their housing.
Okay, great. Any other questions? No?
Oh, thank you.
No. All right, so look around the audience and ask if there's anybody in the audience that signed in and wants to come to the podium to address the board. And seeing how there's none, I would ask the testifiers to give their name and address, but be that it is, there's nobody. So, any final discussions or?
No.
No, I'm ready to move on it.
Okay, is there a motion to close the hearing?
Mr. Chair, I move to close the public hearing on the funding year 2014 HUD Annual Action Plan Amendment 2.
Second.
It's been moved and second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. And what is the pleasure of the board, to continue on to approve or?
I would.
Good.
Okay, sure. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the FY 2014 Amendment 2 to the HUD Annual Action Plan and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to execute contracts and amendments that do not change the approved dollar amount of $104,305 or duration of the contracts by more than 15%.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussions or any comments?
No, I'd just like to thank Gary for all of his hard work, and having been here, we especially depend on your past expertise and into the future, for sure, being the majority of the board relatively new. So thank you very much, Gary, for all you do.
Thank you, sir.
So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, and that motion carries as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, with that in mind, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn the public hearing, August 15, 2014, 2017.
Yeah, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned.